Seriously?
Hey guys, and welcome to this Puppetswar Bitz unboxing / review video with myself, 6+ Stevo. So as you can see before you, I have some bags of bits, some very cool bits that I'm quite excited to show you. Yes, these bits are from Puppetswar. I bought these with my own money, so this isn't a sponsored video. This is a very honest review of these bits. And well, let's just take a look at them, shall we? What we'll do is we'll take them off and we'll go through them bit by bit. Excuse the pun. So first of all, we've got what we got in this one. We have some choppers. So let's take a look. I'll spread these out here. So these are some really cool looking choppers. These are yeah, very brutal looking, and they're just going to add some lovely variety. So as you can see here, let's take a look. Let's take a look at them one at a time, shall we? So we've got this one here. These are really clean. You've got a nice little bit of damage over the weapon there. You can see where it's been used heavily. Needs that little bit trimming off the end of it, as you can see there. But all in all, a very clean, very crisp piece that looks really nice. There's a lovely little sort of like peg attachment there. You can see that all the bits here as well have all been made so that it's very easy to put magnets in there as well, which is really useful. I know a lot of you out there like using magnets in your bits so you can chop and change between weapons. So that's that one. We've got this one, which has got a very urukai sort of vibe to it. I love that sort of hooked end on the weapon there. I like the little bits of armor around the wrist and that as well. There's again nice little bits of denting and chipping and battle damage on there. These look like they're going to be an absolute pleasure to paint. The fingers and everything around the weapon are nice and crisp. Everything looks really tidy. And we've got another one there, very sort of similar. Again, very much an urukai style vibe to it. Sort of a meat cleavery kind of thing. This one's definitely nice. That is a very brutish looking weapon. I like the wrappings around it as well, and the wrappings are very sort of messy and random in that sort of typical orky way, where they've just sort of thrown it on there with little care and attention. I like on the hand here as well. I don't know if you can make that out, but there's a little sort of chain wrapped around his hand there. It just adds a lovely little extra little bit of detail there. So really nice stuff. And then last off, we've got another one here, which is very similar to the other one, but each of these weapons are unique. You know, there's 5 completely unique weapons in this set. So that's a really nice one. So that's the choppers, and they are left-handed choppers. So you get these in a lot of this stuff we're going to look at with the hand weapons. You can choose to get these in left-handed or right-handed varieties, and you get 5 in each set. So really nice to be able to you know, choose whether you want it left-handed or right-handed. Some of these I have bought in both left and right-handed options. For those I just got in the left-handed. I've got another set of melee weapons here. These ones are very cool indeed, because these are like what they called katanas, sort of samurai swords. Get the last one out of the bag there. Come on, you little bugger, get out. There we go. Right, so let's line these up here so you can see them. Really cool. I'm absolutely loving these. Let's move them to one side and again take a look at them one at a time. So yeah, very nice, very crisp. You can see there's very little cleanup to be done on these. Just got to get trimmed a little bit off there. These are resin, so you have to be gentle when getting these bits off. I've had sort of resin clip and break. It feels nice though. It's got a little bit of it's got a little bit of bend to it. So this isn't like some resin can be very, very brittle, especially sort of some of the 3D printed stuff. This feels it's got a nice bit of flex in it. So I don't feel like when I clip bits off that I'm going to get bits sort of snapping and shattering. Again, around the wrist bit there, you can see some nice detailing on the armor plating. That's going to be really nice to paint up. The wrapping around the hilt of the sword is lovely, and yeah, this just makes just very, very cool looking, unique looking weapons to add to my boys. There's another one there that is well worn. Heavy battle damage on these, giving that nice orky feel. Again, you see the socket ready for a magnet if you wish. Another one here, probably the shortest of all the 5. And like I say, every single one of these is got subtle differences. They're all unique. There's no repeats here at all. Here's the longest one of them. This is like longer than an orc boy itself. You know, that's probably it's probably taller than an orc knob actually. But yeah, that's a very, very imposing chopper if you've ever seen one. And then this one is my favourite. This one because this sword has snapped in battle, obviously broken, and the orc in question has decided to just tape it back together. There you go, good as new, still works. I absolutely adore that, so I will 100% be using this one. I think that is just fantastic and quite comical. Very, very cool indeed. I love just orcs don't care, they'll make do. They're like, sod it, I'll just tape it back together. There you go, still works. I can still clobber someone with it. But yeah, again, beautiful detailing on this. And it's just got lovely sort of samurai vibes to it. Very, very cool indeed. Look how crisp the detail is on the hilt there. Really, really good quality stuff. Next up in the melee weapons, I have these. Though, sorry, these were also left-handed, so all the melee weapons so far left-handed. In this set, we have something a little bit different. If I can get them out of the bag without breaking them. There's a little extra bit there. Hopefully that hasn't broken off anything. I don't know what that bit's from actually. So these. First off, not overly impressed with the sprue. There's quite a lot of, it sort of has a kind of a little bit of a fail cast vibe to it with the amount of sort of flash and stuff to clean up. That's going to be a bit of a ball ache. It's not like, that's not just sort of breaking off with a little bit of force from my thumb. So these are going to be a little bit annoying to clean up. Of all the stuff I've got, these are the bits I'm probably the most sort of disappointed with, just in terms of that. It might just be a slightly bad cast here. But as you can see, the weapons themselves are really, really interesting. Now, these are right-handed weapons now. Yeah, so these are in the other hand. These are right-handed weapons now. So we've got, if you can make this one out there, lovely looking weapon there with a, I don't even know what you'd call this. It's a chopper, obviously, but it's a very unique shape. And I absolutely love it. I saw these and I thought they're so cool. They're so unique and different. You've got this one in a sort of a downward sort of dagger kind of vibe. Again, it sort of has a bit of a look of a lightning bolt about it or something. Very, very cool. And then, of course, the sort of circular saw weapon there, which is just a little bit unique, a little bit different. This will be great to add to a certain character, to just add a unique flair to it. But again, like I said, not overly impressed with the casting of these. There's a lot of cleanup, and compared to the other weapons I've just shown you, a little bit disappointing. I don't think it will take too much. I've just got to be gentle with them. But yeah, that amount of cleanup is, look, cleaning up on miniature bits and that is kind of like, for me, one of the most least enjoyable parts of the hobby. It's just kind of a chore. It's something you just have to do. And it'd be much nicer if we just didn't have to do it, if we could just clip them off and crack on. But yeah, going to be a little bit of delicate cleanup on that. And these are quite, especially that circular saw bit. That's a very delicate piece, so I'm going to have to be very gentle in going around the entire weapon and removing all that flash. So yeah, a little bit disappointing on that. I would have preferred if whoever had been packing the order on this may have sort of, you know, put that as more of a miscast. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm being a little bit overly nitpicky here, but I don't really want to be doing all that cleanup. But the weapons themselves, really, really cool. Very impressive. I love the designs and I love the character on them. And then we've got here, so let's take a look. Did that bit break? No, that is supposed to be off. So that's, that goes on like that. Maybe. Yeah, no, I don't think it broke, but it's going to be easy to fit back on anyway, even if it did. I think it possibly, yeah, maybe that isn't supposed to have come off there. That's just snapped off in the bag. Probably my clumsy unopening of the bag. But yeah, you've got a nice staff there. Again, a lot of cleanup required because look at that massive sheet of plastic attached to the side of it. But regardless, really, really cool sort of lance type weapon. And then this one here as well. Again, lovely detailing on the wrist armor and the strappings, and just very, very cool, unique looking weapons. So that is all the melee weapons done. Next up, let's have a look at some sluggers. So I've got two of these. I've got two bags of these. Now they are exactly the same. I've just got them in left hand and right hand. So I won't bother showing you both because they are exactly the same. But I will show you why I bought both, because these are some lovely, lovely looking sluggers. There are 6 of these in this set, so you get 6. So let's start with here. So we've got this one, which, as you can see, quite unique. Sort of got a bit of a auto pistol, las pistol vibe with it, with some modifications. Very, very nice indeed. We've then got another one which to me again has a bit of an auto pistol slash las pistol vibe to it, but with some orky modifications on there. Probably ramping up the firepower of this. But yeah, cool. Just adds, these are just going to add more variety to the sluggers in my units. Again, I like the armoured wrist bits, and they are really cool. As you can see, a lot of these have a sort of a, that is definitely a looted las pistol, isn't it? Or even a sort of a plasma-y pistol-y kind of vibe to that one. Very cool. Again, chain around the wrist there, nice bit of detailing, and look, got some sort of blades on his wrist there. Yeah, lovely. And then we've got one more here. I don't know if I just showed you that one. Maybe I did. Or maybe it's very similar to the first one I showed you. Oh no, it is a different one. Yeah, I like that one. Very cool. And we've got this one. I like this one. The sort of musket, kind of old school, sort of flintlock pistol. That's a really, really nice pistol. That one caught my eye. That's really, really cool. Very nice indeed. Again, the detailing, you can see all the mechanisms on it and that. Absolutely lovely detailing on that. And then my favourite one in the set, and the reason I got 2 of these, is this one, the underslung one, which looks really brutish and could be used as something a bit more substantial than a slugger, really. But yeah, I love the sort of underslung weapons. I just think they've got a really cool look to them. The bullets coming out and that. Nice detailing, the wrappings going around it. Very, very cool stuff. And that is the reason I got 2 of these in left and right hands, because I want one of my gits to be having 2 of these, one in each hand, because I just think it's going to look badass having 2 underslung guns like that. So that is the sluggers. Next, we've got some heads. I have 3 bags of heads here, all different, all unique, and we'll go through these one by one. Let's start with this set. I can see one of the heads has already come off the sprue in here in the bag. And here we are, and eagle-eyed of you may have already noticed the one that's come off, the one that's desperate to take a look, is an Orky Clone Trooper / Boba Fett / Jango Fett helmet. Very cool. A little bit of cleanup required, but all in all, a really clean cast, clean sculpt. Very cool. Personally, I'm most likely not going to be using this one because it's a very much a personal taste thing, but I hate with a passion mixing universes. So I will never feature anything in my Ork army that is obviously from like another universe, like the Star Wars universe or Marvel, you know, or anything else. I just don't care for it. It's, for me, it's immersion breaking, universe breaking. I'm not a fan. But regardless, really, really cool. Absolutely love it. You're probably thinking, well, if you're not going to use it, why did you buy it? Well, I bought it because some of the other heads are so cool. We've got this one on the end here, the screaming head with the goggles, which I think is awesome. We've got clearly, is it Bebop or Rocksteady from, I think it's Bebop from Ninja Turtles. That's what this head reminds me of, with the mohawk and the shades. I would use this because it's a little less on the nose. It's not necessarily quite so obvious, but it's a nice little nod back to it. Then we've got this one, which is very, very cool. I absolutely love that mask. That is that's badass. That looks really slick. And then again, you might recognize this. Who is this from? I think this is like a, is that the Rocketeer? Maybe not the Rocketeer. Maybe that is a Marvel style helmet. Let me know in the comment section below if you recognize that, but I definitely recognize that from something. But regardless, very, very cool indeed. And you can see again the crisp detail on these. Very awesome looking heads. Next up, we have these heads. Again, there's one there very similar to the other, very much the same as that one, look, but with an open mouth, and looks even more like Bebop. I'm sure that's Bebop. I'm sure Rocksteady was the Rhino. And then we've got this helmeted head here, which is cool. Be very cool for like an Ork biker. I like the way the helmet's cracked and it's all like stapled or stitched back together. That's really nice with the visor down. Very cool. And I love the World War I German helmet here on this guy. I think these sort of old German spiked helmets just are so cool on Orks, and it's so iconic. They've been with them since the beginning, so every time I see a spiked helmet on an Ork, I just think that's very fitting and works really well for Orks. And I really like this one, again with the goggles. He sort of reminds me of Pod Racer from Star Wars, which is probably the sort of look they were going for. With the goggles are sort of are, as you can see, they're attached to the helmet and have like a little bit so they can flip up and down. So that's really nice. Again, would work really well on a biker or a pilot, on like a Dakar jet or a Deathcopter or anything like that. Very cool. And then again, we've got another one here with shades on, yelling, loving life. Yeah, really, really nice stuff here. Absolutely lovely, and the detailing on these is really crisp. Again, looks like very little cleanup work, really nice casting, absolutely fantastic quality. And then the last set of heads, let's get these out because these are very unique, very interesting looking. And these are like ninja heads for Orks. So we've got this fella here, mask, and again clearly ninja looking vibe, and then one here with a headband on. You can imagine like put up a little red circle in there, like sort of Karate Kid style. Very, very cool. These would be great for like commandos. They would work very well for commandos and stealthy Orks. But look at these two. We have Scorpion and Sub-Zero Orks. Again, mixing up universes. But again, I don't know, little less on the nose. I think done in subtle ways with a slight nod back, I'd be okay with that. I would never just, you know, make one of my orcs obviously look like Sub-Zero, but I think a little nod back here and there, little touches is okay. Again, guys, it's just my take from my army, personal. You know, if you like doing that sort of thing, you do you. I'm not criticising at all. It's purely a subjective thing. It's just my taste. Anything that sort of breaks the immersion for me is a no-go. But I think the sculpts are fantastic. I think they look really cool, and I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will really appreciate these. And so I just really wanted to show them off to you. So that is all the heads. And last off, probably the main event is these. The jump packs, rocket packs. Now these are, and as you can see, slightly different colours to the rest, and that's because these are 3D printed, which Puppetswar have been doing a lot more of lately. And I've had sort of mixed views on 3D printed stuff for a while. The quality of the resin and that, whenever any company I see is doing 3D printed stuff or moving from traditional sort of resin casting that to 3D printed stuff, initially I'm like, oh no, because I've had some bad experiences with 3D printing in the past, and I am a little bit I find the brittleness of the resin that's used in the 3D printed a little bit difficult to work with. I don't like sometimes seeing like the sort of the lines that form in there, and I just don't find the material necessarily as good to work with. And but I've got to say, on the whole, first impressions of these are very, very good. But let's take a look at these one by one. And each of these, again, you get 5 of these in a pack. Very unique looking. So you can see where it attaches. Again, there's a spot for a magnet in there. Doesn't look like much cleanup required. They're very, very clean. You can just about, you see what I mean? You can just about make out those lines where you can see how it's been printed. And sometimes when you paint, those lines are still kind of visible. And whenever I see them, oh, I hate them. I hate them. But these are so fine. I don't think they're going to show up at all. Especially with the way I clumsily slap my paint on and don't water it down as much as I should. I'll probably have no trouble covering them up, so I don't think that'll be noticed at all. So I think as far as 3D printing goes, these are very, very good prints. And yeah, this is just a lovely looking rocket pack there with the turbines on it and that, and I love the way that they're sort of, you know, operating independently of each other. Yeah, very, very cool indeed. I love the little wings on the side as well. Very nice. Next one, we've got one of the turbines has a propeller on it, which I think is hilarious. You've got the venting in there again. You've got like the fins and the wings on there. Cables and wires and engine-y bits bolted on. Battle damage on it. Very, very nice. And again, they're pointing in different directions. So you've got them showing that they're operating independently. You've got the gas tanks there. So yeah, very nice, very unique. Like I say, each one of these is unique. We have just one turbine and some rockets on there. We've got this one, which is possibly my favourite one of all of them. This is quite a hench one. It's got the largest turbines of all of them. A little bit of flash there to clean up, but again, nothing major. Rockets underneath. Again, patch up jobs on there. Lovely detailing with the rivets and everything. Very cool stuff. And then the last one, the most rockety of all the rocket packs. It's just a big rocket with more rockets strapped onto the side when you can't have enough rockets. So I don't fancy that Storm Boy's chances at making a safe landing. But yeah, it almost looks like a little epic scale little fighter jet, doesn't it? But yeah, there you go, guys. So I wanted to show these bits off because I just thought they were cool and worth showing you guys. Like I say, it's not a sponsored video. Puppetswar haven't supplied these to me free of charge. I bought these with my own money. They weren't cheap. I would say that they are costed fairly. There is a postage cost because these do come from Poland, I believe. For me, being in the UK, there was a customs charge to pay as well, which was a nasty little surprise. So having already paid for these and the postage, I then get a letter through the door saying, oh, you can collect from the post office, but you've got to pay a customs charge, which was a nasty little surprise cost, which did bump the whole cost of these up. So something to bear in mind, specifically if you're in the UK when ordering these. But do you know what? Absolutely fantastic stuff. My only slight criticism is with these bits. I would have preferred not to have to do all this cleanup on them, but otherwise really good stuff. And this is just a very small sample of what Puppetswar is offering in terms of bits at the moment. Honestly guys, I will share the links below to all these bits, and I will share the link to the Puppetswar website. I urge you all to go down in the description, click that link and have a look at all the bits. And trust me, it's going to be very hard for you not to make a purchase, because this is just a tiny little sample of what they've got to offer. Puppetswar are producing some really interesting, imaginative stuff that is, as you can see, on the whole, very good quality. So yeah, please do go and check them out. But for now guys, this is 6 Plus Stevo signing out.